This episode of Under the Apron is sponsored by Anchor. If you haven't heard yet, Anchor by Spotify is the easiest way to make a podcast with all the tools you need, all in one place. Just type in anchor.fm on your browser and start creating that podcast that you've been talking about starting all year long. Take advantage of Anchor's creation tools. You can record, edit, add music, or any type of audio you like right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast on many different listening platforms, such as Spotify, Apple, Google, or even Stitcher. And that's just to name a few. It's everything you need to make a podcast. And want to know what's the best part about it? Absolutely, totally free. Join us and download the Anchor app on your phone or go to anchor.fm on your browser to get started right away. Link will be in the show notes. Welcome back, Wrestling Geeks, to another episode of From Under the Apron. Taking a week off this week due to the holidays, but I wanted to post this bonus episode. I got on my DeLorean, picked up Drew from the Attitude Era Wrestling Review podcast, and we hit the road at 88 miles per hour to jump to 1997 during the WWF Attitude Era and the day after Ground Zero. If y'all haven't heard that episode yet, pause this, go give it a listen, then come back here and listen to this one. Or you can become a fan as well and follow them on Spotify. I'll post the link in the show notes. But let me just say, it was awesome to be there again. I got invited back for the sequel. We talked a little bit about Ground Zero again and the day after. Before I post that, there's no after credits in this episode though. So, as soon as it's done, it's done. So with that in mind, see y'all in a few days. Gonna do my yearly tradition of sitting down with friends and family and being thankful for the WWE to finally put War Games at Survivor Series. It's been a long time coming, I swear. I've always wanted this. So, happy holidays and happy viewing. Thank you for listening to this show and supporting us. You can find us on all other sort of social platforms at our Linktree, linktree.com/from under the apron. It has the link to our network, our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, socials, plus our Good Pod, Spotify, and iTunes account, where you can listen to us as well as leave us a comment or a 5-star review, which helps us be discovered by other fans of wrestling and podcast. I also have a Discord account. If you want to add me there, do so at $1 Million Geek number 0945. Invite me to your channels. Let me know. Check out the show notes for links to other podcast trailers that you heard on this episode. Send us a message of your favorite wrestling stories, questions, comments, ratings, or requests by email. It is from undertheapron@gmail.com. And I will do my best to get to them and answer accordingly. Also, click on the link tree if you want to support our podcast in whatever way you can. Thank you for listening and being a huge part of our community. See y'all soon. Join us next time and find out what kind of stories are swept under the apron. Happy Survivor Series weekend, everyone.
Pretty much if I can smell Russo on it, it's getting an F.
It's better to have him do 50 minutes of that than have to listen to Sergeant Slaughter for 15 more minutes.
Austin probably went, you know what? I'm going to grab this broom here, and I bet you I can get this broom more over than that Vince Russo segment a little bit ago. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's that time again. That's right. It is time for the Attitude Era Wrestling Review Podcast, where we will be reviewing WWF Raw from September 8th, 1997 from Cincinnati, Ohio. And of course, I am your host, the two-time reigning defending armchair Booker of the Year, and my co-host is gone for the week. He's on vacation, so Arnold's not going to be here tonight, so no velvet vocal cords, but I have got a special guest referee tonight. That would be our first returning guest. You remember him, you know him, you love him. It's that $1 Million Geek. What's up, MDG?
Hey, yo. It's me. It's that MDG, $1 Million Geek Chico.
How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. Hey, two-time returning champion.
And this is also the second time we've went to record this, because the first time we got through the first segment and he goes, time out. You told me to watch the wrong episode, and I totally did. So my bad.
Yeah, I didn't mind watching 2 episodes. It's good.
Hey, I'd rather watch 2 episodes in 1997 than 1 today.
Actually, you owe me a beer, all because you had me watching 2 weeks worth of mini matches.
Oh yeah. If you for 1 second think that I watched the minis on this episode and didn't hit fast forward, you've never listened to this podcast, because I see those and go, no. Arnold will usually watch them. Sorry, I should have warned you. I didn't know they were going to be on here. I don't watch that crap. No offense to them. It's pointless. There's no story involved. They disappear and never come back. I don't care. I'm not wasting my 6 minutes on it. But anywho, speaking of wasting 6 minutes, I think this intro's hovering around 4. No, I'm just kidding. No. But so we're the night after Ground Zero, and we open up the show by showing stills, because that always irritated me. Just show like 30-second clip of last night. That would make
stills, and then there's pictures of the show, and then the sound audio. Like 1, 2, come on, just show us. Yeah. And then you hear the crowd reaction. Oh!
You'll sell more pay-per-views on like a 10-second clip than you will a picture with audio on it. I don't know. That always annoyed me. I don't know. We start off with JR and the King on commentary, because Vince is in the ring, and he brings down your new commissioner, Sergeant the Chin Slaughter. And Slaughter comes down, cuts his standard promo. He says, "There will be order here." And he says, "Austin, you are suspended until..." I can't do that. My throat hurts already. He says he's suspended until he gets medical clearance. And he says a new IC champion will be crowned at Bad Blood, and you will be there to crown the new champion. And I don't think he finished the word champion before glass shatters. And of course, Austin's going to come down. He's got some things he wants to say about that. Of course, he spends 15 minutes standing on each post, getting all his picture taken, because he's the most over thing on the planet right now. But yeah, says he's not.
It's better to have him do 50 minutes of that than have to listen to Sergeant Slaughter for 15 more minutes.
Hey, somebody not to be named made me watch Survivor Series 1990, and I had to deal with Iraqi sympathizer Slaughter. So I don't know who that was.
I'm on that. I'm still on that one. Like, damn, dude, I need to go eat. I need, yeah, let's go.
I'm like, Because I was watching that, and I completely forgot about that. And I'm like, oh god, it's this. I'm like,
This is the reason why it's 3 hours long.
yeah, that and Hogan's ego. But we'll listen to Geek Show when I'm on there watching that, and we'll talk about that later. Yeah, Austin says he's not following any rules, and immediately gives a stunner to Sergeant Slaughter and says, well, yeah, I ain't listening to you. Vince McMahon starts yelling at Stone Cold.
Damn it! What? Don't do that! Damn it! Ah!
And he tries to square up to him, and Vince is like, yeah, I'm running away. Stone Cold runs over to commentary and just starts yapping. I mean, great yapping. And then he starts getting escorted to the back, but I think we all know
it's Stone Cold's show.
He's not
Let's
leaving.
just be real.
Yeah.
It's Stone Cold's show. There's no reason for him to leave. Like, I did want to say, like, as soon as he did the stunner, freaking the push-ups and the sit-ups were hilarious. Had this been now, where Sergeant Slaughter took his sweet-ass time talking, there could have been like, what? All the what chant.
Oh, I hate those. I'm glad we don't see those for another like 3 or 4 years. Those annoy the crap.
Yeah, around there.
And it's only taken us 20 years to pretty much get over them.
Right, yeah.
I love this. This whole opening segment was chef kiss gold to me. Austin's over. Slaughter's, he's not as over as he was, but he's a decent foil for now as the authority figure. He's better than Monsoon was when when we saw Monsoon like a year ago in the role, because he was always just on camera, or he was never really in ring too much. So
you all gotta thank Vader for that one.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that too. That was a nice. Thank you, Vader, for slamming Monsoon when he's like 70. But yeah,
wow.
But I'm not against Slaughter as commissioner here. So I gave this an A. Did you grade this opening part?
You graded it, right? Did you?
I did. Yeah, I gave it an A.
Pat, yeah, sure, it was an A. Yeah, it was an A. Sure.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next thing here, and that is Bret Hart versus Vader in a no-holds-barred non-title match to start the show. Well, not start the show, but the first match of the night. And we find out, because we didn't get to see the last 2 Raws because they're on Friday night, and those aren't on the network for some reason. Irritating, but
Friday night's main event wasn't on the network.
Well, it was Friday Night Raw.
What?
It was preempted for the U.S. Open.
Oh, okay. I see.
So it was moved to Friday nights. Vader attacks Bret 2 weeks ago. Hart Foundation beat down Vader. Then, because we didn't know that at the time, and we watched Ground Zero and couldn't figure out why in the world's Vader sticking his nose in this. It didn't make a whole lot of sense until right now. Watching this, like,
now you tell us.
Oh, now it makes, because we even commented, we had no idea why Vader's down the main event. We just assumed, something happened on the Raws we didn't see, and now we see it.
Right.
But yeah, so we get this Bret Hart versus Vader in a no-hold-barred match. Geez, I wonder if the Hart Foundation will get involved.
All points towards yes.
Yeah. I love Bret Hart comes down and starts making fun of Cincinnati and Pete Rose.
Oh, ironic.
Yeah. Bret starts immediately with 2 belt shots, and Vader pretty much just no-sells them both.
That's what he does.
Vader breaks the Canadian flag. There was some really cool spots in this. It was basically just your standard TV no-holds-barred kind of match. But it's an old school no-holds-barred match, so it, mostly stayed in the ring and somewhat around it. It didn't have to go to the back, out in the parking lot, through the bar next door. using every object you can think of. It was it was still a match. But
Tim White's bar.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been there. Went there a couple times. But, nowadays, and this is me complaining about modern wrestling, you have like this no holds barred or anything goes, no DQ match. And they immediately, as soon as ding, 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 hit the floor, go down the aisle in the crowd. It's still a match.
Chaotic.
Keep it in the ring or around it. If you can't use what's there around the ring, then you can't tell a decent story. But that's just old man me complaining about modern wrestling.
You gotta adapt, man. You gotta adapt.
Yeah, well, there's a reason that it's the lowest viewed product in history today. But AEW gets a million people on a Wednesday. So that's nothing to me. But whatever. Not complaining. But yeah, let's get to this. So the Hart Foundation does end up coming down.
Bless you.
Awkward silence brought to you by my allergies. Sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, the Hart Foundation does end up coming down. The British Bulldog comes down first. Let's see. Bret Hart takes the hold on again. So the Bulldog comes down. He's just wandering his way down. Bret Hart hits a low blow, starts taking the turnbuckle off, but Vader stops him when he tries to throw him into it. Vader hits an absolutely thunderous power bomb on Hart.
He does.
Yeah. And then he goes for the Vader bomb, but Bulldog comes down, grabs a chair. But here comes the Patriot to the rescue. Here comes Owen to even the score. So Bedlam just breaks out. Everybody everywhere. Everybody basically has chairs at this point. The Hart Foundation they get the advantage. They go to spike pile drive the Patriot on a chair, but here comes Stone Cold for the save. The Hart Foundation run away and no finish.
Nope. It's chaotic, man.
Just chaos. Everybody running everywhere. But you know what? I'm all for it. I like this. This was actually a pretty good match, if you want to call it that. This was more of just a organized scrum. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It was never really a match. The whole no holds barred thing was just to keep it from being a quick DQ. But this got the point across. I guess we're moving toward Vader versus Bret Hart, and I'm fine with that. Of course, we know in about 2 months we'll have Shawn and Bret and that thing in Montreal, whatever that's going to be.
Chaotic. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, but I like this. This is pretty good to me. Wasn't great, but it was good. It was entertaining. It was kind of well put together for chaos, if that makes any kind of sense to anybody. So I ended up giving it a B. What do you think about it?
16-year-old me would be like, yeah, Stone Cold's there, finally. And then all that happened. Waiting for them to hit Patriot with the pile driver never happened, but Stone Cold made a save. Giving it a B-. It was chaotic. I actually thought it was going to be a match, but no, just ended up being like,
All right, yeah. What do you think about Vader versus Patriot? Think we'll see that?
Vader versus Patriot? That happened?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
I missed out on a few years. That whole year I missed out on up until the Survivor Series when the whole thing happened. I was told this, and then like later on watched it. I was like, oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah, we talked about this on our very first episode, folks. Go back and listen to the King of the Ring review from 110 episodes, 111 episodes ago. Yeah, my very first introduction to wrestling was the three guys that sat behind me in science class were talking in November one night about, hey, did you see hear what happened last night at Survivor Series? And I'm like, yeah, that was crazy. No idea what it was. So I went home and found out that it came on Monday nights, and I watched my very first Raw was the night after Survivor Series 1997. And 25 plus years later, I'm still watching. Or 25 years later, not plus yet. We're not quite there. So that was my introduction, was three guys behind me talking about what happened at Survivor Series. So whatever that is, we'll have to wait and see. No idea. Never heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of it.
As I just said, I knew exactly what it was, but I've never heard of it. So we'll get
Like,
there.
I actually thought they were just playing around. I was like, what are you talking about? He couldn't WCW. Like, yeah, he wrote the word WCW with his fingers and he got screwed. Like, yeah, everybody gets screwed. No, he got screwed for real. I was like, what are you talking about? He left. I was like, oh, okay. So, heard about it the next day, got a tape from it, went to go watch it, and I was just like, damn, that sucks, dude. And then find out, like, what, in a few months he's going to be in WCW. Cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, and we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I plan on having we'll have a big shindig when it comes to when we get there.
Oh boy.
All right.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So next we have the Headbangers, your new WWF Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, awesome.
Versus this absolute no-name job team. But wait a minute. Who's that? Those redneck hillbilly Godwins come down and absolutely just, in about 10 seconds, clear out the job team and go, nope. They challenge the Headbangers. Tonight, say, get down here. We want a piece of you. And the Headbangers like, yeah, you know what? We wear skirts. We're crazy. They accept. The Godwins have the advantage early, but they always had the ace in the hole. This goes on for about 3 minutes, and all of a sudden, somebody comes in through the crowd, clocks Thrasher in the head. 1, 2, 3, Godwins win. JR yells, "Who is that?" And he interviews one of the Godwins, and he goes, "It's Uncle Cletus." And I'm thinking, Uncle Cletus, that guy looks a lot like TL Hopper. He traded in his plunger for a bucket.
TL Hopper? Wait, what do you mean? The TL Hopper, the plunger guy?
Yeah. Uncle Cletus is TL Hopper. Yeah.
No way. Oh. I didn't know about Uncle Cletus either. It's just like, okay. It was who the hell is this guy?
Better known as, when he was in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, one of my favorite promotions of all time. If you've not seen any of that, check it out on YouTube. He was the Dirty White Boy.
Oh boy.
So if you've ever heard of the Dirty White Boy, that's Uncle Cletus / TL Hopper.
So he's basically portraying the same character, or just...
No, the Dirty White Boy was just he was just basically, we started out as a heel. He was just dirty, cheat, lie, steal, and he was just a dirty white boy. And his theme song was Dirty White Boy.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, I can send you a link or two. He had some good, man. I mean, I'm telling you what, if you want to get into it, I watched most of them on YouTube, probably a couple years ago. Almost all of Smoky Mountain was on YouTube, even like their quote unquote pay-per-views, which they didn't have pay-per-view, but it was just Cornette ran a promotion in Tennessee and Kentucky, and it was, of course,
Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, like early 90, was it 93 to 90 or 92 to 94? Oh, it's some great old school Southern, just great matches. They had some good names down there too. But anywho, the days of yesteryear. This one though, I like the old bait. I like the bait and switch with the job team. I thought that was pretty cool. I have no idea who they were. Don't care. The Godwins came in, cleared them out. Um, Other than that, though, this was blah. And I know for a fact, because I know history, that Uncle Cletus doesn't stick around too long. I mean, we just saw this exact same thing with Hillbilly Jim just a couple months ago was their
Oh,
manager.
wow. Yeah.
So it's nothing new. It's nothing exciting. I feel sorry for Dirty White Boy because he's a much better talent than probably both the Godwins put together. But Vince wouldn't let him because he was just not his cup of tea. But anywho, whatever. Um, this didn't really hit it with me. I'd rather just Dirty White or Uncle Cletus just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. This got a C minus for me.
He looked like a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Um, Shout out to the fan in the front row, though, who reacted and almost tried to stop Cletus from jumping over the guardrail.
Yeah, that was funny. That was almost like the security guard at WrestleMania a couple years ago when Gronk was supposed to get involved with the
In the
battle
battle
royal. Yeah, and she like tried to stop him, and he's like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm supposed to do this."
The
And
fan is the one that reacted first, like, no, what are you doing? And then you see security like show up late, like, oh man, we messed up on our job already. We're like,
yeah,
yeah, you guys did. I'm giving it a C also. I wasn't expecting anything big out of this match. I freaking the Marilyn Manson references for the headbangers got old throughout the years. I feel that the pop punk crowd, we relate to them now rather than years ago. Only because they wear all that stuff, the dresses and all that shit.
did you just say the headbangers got old?
No, I didn't. I said the
Good.
pop punk crowd would relate to them now.
Oh, okay. I
Us older
misunderstood.
people would to them now.
Gotcha. I was like, what?
The
I'm like, they were
the Marilyn
awesome.
Manson jokes, the Marilyn Manson jokes got old
Oh, yeah.
on them because they weren't Marilyn Manson at all. They're just like trash and heavy metal and all that shit.
Well, I
Like
think
I didn't think anything about like dark goth. No, they're just like they're goth, but they're also heavy metal. They're headbanging.
Well, I think half the joke of that was that JR and Jerry Lawler had no idea what they were. I think that was part of the joke.
Like they relate to my generation basically. It's just like, oh shit, a guy that wrestlers, tag team wrestlers that like heavy metal are there, but they're making it fun of them and calling it, you like that Marilyn Manson crap? It's like, come on, really? You guys are trying to be hip now and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the time, like I loved them, but just like, cool.
Yeah, well, and JR and Jerry Lawler not being on the joke was kind of funny for a while, but it wasn't funny for long. And speaking of jokes that weren't funny for long, our next match. We get the first round match of the IC title tournament. It is Dude Love versus Brian Pillman. Or is it? Dude Love comes down. Says he needs a friend for moral support. So down comes Gold Dust. Says he's going to be in Dude Love's corner. And Pillman's music hits. No Pillman. Just no Pillman. And then he calls from the phone and goes, haha, I'm not stepping into that trap, yada, yada, yada. Says he's not coming in till the WWF says it's safe.
Yeah.
Says he
never going to be safe.
Says he has a tape from his hotel room. Drops an F-bomb, which I'm glad they bleeped that off of the network. This was stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wrote 2 words, Russo bullshit.
Yeah.
This had Vince Russo written all over it, and I'm sorry, Dude Love, Mick Foley had to get any of it on him. Pillman 2, Gold Dust. This whole Pillman, Gold Dust, Marlena, Menage wall thing, whatever, triangle is just god awful. It's stupid. There was no match here. This was just Russo bullshit again.
Yeah.
I gave it an F.
Oh wow. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much if I can smell Russo on it, it's getting an F.
Freaks of Russo.
Yeah.
Yeah, an F. I just wrote down like he's the kind of person if you click on their video, they end it with like for part 2. Like,
yeah.
The only reason I clicked on your video was for you to explain what happened, and you give us this. It's like I was waiting for Terry or whatever her name was, Marlena to come out and like, oh my god, like no, it's like, dude, why do I want to see you in your underwear?
Yeah, I
What
just
the hell? All right, yeah, like for part 2, Goldust. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? F, get out of here.
Spoiler alert, there will be part 2 coming later in this show. Speaking of part 2, well, that's Nitro, but we're in hour 2. And how do we kick off hour 2 to counter program Nitro? Oh my God, with Mexican mini matches.
Oh, hey, we're there. Oh,
yep, we are there. And our listeners will absolutely know exactly what I did. Grabbed the remote on my Xbox and went to whatever I saw coming next because nope. And since Arnold's not here to tell him about it, Geek, take it away.
Oh, yeah, just give it to me. All right, look, for the crowd in the arena, it might have been the go-to, the concession, and get a beer. But for us at home, I felt like it was a horrible start to the second hour. Watching this once at Ground Zero was enough. There was no need to watch it again unless you're a little kid, which was aimed at. But I didn't see any freaking kid excited to see Max Mini or Captain Morgan screaming out at the fans. It was horrible. Get this freaking garbage out of here. And then to top it all off, you had me watch this twice. It's like you didn't watch it, you fast forwarded. I'm just like, oh God, why?
Yeah. And especially, why would you open hour 2 with this when look who's coming next?
Well, speaking of which, what was hour 2 on the other channel?
Give me just a 5-second here to flip through my notes.
Let's bring that up. Let's bring some statistics into this freaking show.
Oh, we do.
What happened on the Nitro?
We do all the time. Don't worry. Hour 2 started off with Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
That would have been more entertaining.
Yes.
Like, what the hell am I watching Max Mini? I'm sorry for those Mexicans, or I'm sorry for those watching at home in Mexico, AAA or CMLL. It was Mascarita Sagrada Junior. I don't know which one. There were 2 of them, but not because they're for basically juniors. No, it's because they're masked mini versions of them. And then this guy makes Max Mini. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I had to look him up. It's one of them. Didn't really care. The other guy is Captain Morgan. I'm sorry, no, Piratita Pirate Morgan. Look, mini Pirate Morgan. I was like, okay, that's great.
The thing is, I don't even care that they're the mini. When they've done this with the regular, I don't know how the proper way to say it is without being
luchadors. The regular luchadors?
Yeah, the actual luchadors, not the mini version, the full-size candy bar version. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about it because they show up out of nowhere with no story behind them. And I know they're not coming back. There's nothing tied into it. It's just as I should bring up the quote from Arnold from Ground Zero, or no, it was Nitro last week. Flippy, flippy, flip, 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 flippy, flip, 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 ding, ding, go home. And it's not my thing. I don't care. I don't mind it if there's a story behind it or there's any kind of selling. But this is just flippy, flippy move. This is modern wrestling in 1997, and I didn't care. The crowd doesn't care. It's why is this on my TV? I didn't grade it because it's not their fault that I didn't watch it. So I just fast forwarded, moved on.
Vince basically said, like, I'll have my own little version of the minis. I'll call this one Max Mini because he doesn't want to like pay the other freaking mass luchadors for this mini version. So let's pay this mini version and copyright it Max Mini. So if they ever go to AAA, they can't use Max Mini. They got to use their real names, the Mascarita Sagrada, whatever, the Mascara Sagrada ones. Which, I mean, even in AAA and CMLL, like, they didn't even explain where they were from. It was like, hey, here's some Mexican luchadors. Have at it. What?
Yeah.
Where are they from?
Oh, Vince won't say another promotion on TV.
No, he won't. So I'm like, where are they from? And you have to look it up. But where are they from? This way, like, have they been fighting long enough for it to come to this? Is there a story behind it?
Yeah.
No.
That's exactly
then why am I interested in this? I want to hear a story. What happened? Did Max Mini do something to Pirate Morgan's mom that slapped her in the bum, and Captain Morgan's all like, "Hey,
can he jump that high?"
Oh my god!
Short joke. Anywho, yeah.
I mean, Matt, his mom's probably the same size.
Well, we're going to move on from this before it's just taking up too much. I don't know. I didn't watch it. Didn't care. Did you grade it at all?
F. You said it already. F.
Yeah.
Did you say F? I don't know.
No, I didn't. I don't grade it because I don't watch it. So I mean, it would be an F.
Why I didn't grade it. Like, I know you didn't watch it. I know you didn't care for it. Like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. But damn, dude. Yeah, it's okay, Arnold. Like, I did your job for you on that one.
Yeah, he'll watch it, but then he'll poo-poo it because it's dumb. But I'm like, I ain't got time. No, there's not enough time in the world. Not enough money to pay me to watch. No. Anywho,
this segment lasted longer than that match.
Yeah. And why didn't we just start with Taker versus HBK? Because I guess they maybe knew Hogan was coming out and didn't think they could go up against him. I'd rather watch
Plan B.
I'd rather watch Taker. I'd rather watch Taker and HBK in the ring than Hogan and Bischoff. Sorry, even with the NWO, whatever. But we find out that we're getting Taker versus HBK in something called I wrote this down. Hold on. Hell in a Cell.
Hold on, let me check my notes. Oh wow, yeah.
So at Bad Blood, yeah, can't wait for that. We have a very special guest lined up for that one, listening for our review. It'll be our very first international guest, and she's been waiting many months. I booked her many months ago when I realized this was coming up. I wanted a horror expert because I know something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Something in the horror genre comes up, so I booked her a long time ago. So she's not a wrestling fan. She's actually she loves horror movies. So I figured, hey, look at this. But anyway, we'll get there in next month.
Can't wait to listen.
Yep, Taker versus HBK. They give promos back and forth. I mean, it was nothing special. Rest in peace.
Vintage Undertaker, of course.
They were nothing special. They weren't anything to write home about, but still good. Nothing to write home about. Promo from Taker and Shawn is better than 85% of modern day.
Wait, which Shawn Michaels? Damn. Okay.
This is
sorry about that.
This is coked up heel Shawn.
Oh, with the short shorts.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Coked up heel.
No, wait, no. He might have had pants on. He might have had pants.
I know there was a few segments where he does the freaking. He just shows up. I didn't understand what he was saying. It's just like, what, dude?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Okay, start from the back. Go back. I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's all like, the World Wrestling Federation. Do you have to say the entire name of it?
Yes, Vince will make you do that. Yeah, it was a good promo. I didn't grade it. It was just a short segment. We found out Hell in a Cell, which apparently is some kind of cage that covers the floor and has a ceiling on it. So no way in, no way out.
Oh my!
I'm looking forward to that. We've not seen one of those before.
Wait, is the cage like It's covered on the top also.
Yeah, it's kind of like WCW's War Games cage, but
Oh,
it goes across the floor so you can still go out of the ring a little bit too. I've been told,
hey,
not seen one of these things.
man.
So
Hope nobody climbs that thing.
yeah, if you throw somebody off the top of that onto the announce table,
That is be crazy. That would make somebody famous, but still, that'd be crazy.
I'd almost say they're
By
broken in half.
by God.
Yeah, stop the damn match. Anywho, we're 6 months away from that. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's move on to our next match. We get Owen versus Goldust in an
Lovely.
actual IC title tournament. Yay!
Gotta love
Yay!
tournaments.
Yeah. So this one is a nice little match. Bret Hart tries to get involved a little bit. Goldust keeps getting pissed off about it. Bulldog distracts Owen for gets a low blow. Two of
Will
them.
that distract Owen?
Oh, sorry, Bulldog distracts for Owen. Owen starts hitting the low blows.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of the ref. Sorry. DQ. I don't know if he was supposed to do that, but the ref did the right thing. He saw it. So the Hart Foundation starts pummeling Goldust. Austin comes down with a broom and literally cleans the ring.
He sweeps it. He said nope.
Austin probably went, you know what? I'm going to grab this broom here, and I bet you I can get this broom more over than that Vince Russo segment a little bit ago. And he did.
The broom flew at a higher distance than the minis.
Yeah. Vince McMahon points at, or Stone Cold points at Vince and gives him the broom.
Throws that Vince.
Foreshadowing. But overall, this was a quick, I don't know why they booked this, but between for what all involved with Stone Cold coming down, I liked it. It was better than it had any right to be, I think. So, I mean, I ended up giving this a B minus. It wasn't much, but what was there, I liked. And I don't know why the DQ was kind of weird. I don't know. I guess Owen just wanted to, I don't know. Weird. The booking was weird, but the match between the two was good, even with all the outside shenanigans. I don't know. This IC tournament so far is turning out to be a dud when you don't have your first match and your second one's a DQ. So we'll see what it was. What'd you give this one?
I gave it a B also. This is Goldust coming in. He's pissed off already. Like, I think you're trying to hit low blows on him. He gives you a low blow back in front of the ref. The ref's all like, nope, you're disqualified. Owen wins.
Yeah.
And, Goldust continues with the low blows anyways. Like, no, we're doing some more of this. I love the fact that Stone Cold came out after, like, here, I'll help you out, guy. A year later, he's going to give him a stunner. But,
Yeah, I don't...
like, this is vintage Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was expecting him to give him a stunner anyways.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he's not going to do it. All right, cool.
I'll help you. High five stunner. Oh, I'd love seeing like valet parking. He gets out, the guy hands the guy his keys and just gives him a stunner. All right, so after that, Goldust is all whimpery. I lost, and then of course we get round 2 of the video of between
the Triple X files.
Yeah, I just fast forwarded it. Don't care.
It was fun. Yeah. Yeah. Here, let me. What did I write about? Oh, we saw nothing and everything at the same time.
Yeah, I knew it's USA. They're not going to show anything. They can innuendo the crap out of it, but
it was the most disappointing part 2 clickbait that I ever seen. I expected to see Marlena. We didn't get to see her. It's like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, it was.
What's on Nitro?
Yeah, pretty much. And now we're going to move on to our main event of the night. It is Patriot versus the British Bulldog versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley in a triple threat match. So apparently these are going to be all the time now because we just saw one last night at Ground Zero. And I didn't like them then. I don't like them now. They are very, very rarely ever done well. This one definitely, the one last night wasn't. This one wasn't either. And it takes a special circumstance for A to need one. B, you have to have three talents that know how to work one.
Oh God, you can tell.
Yeah, it's hard to put one together because it always ends up the same way. Somebody gets knocked down, rolls out of the ring, and has to sit there and wait for it's their turn to come back in. Or they're supposed to sit there and strategically wait to come back in. But there's always a lot of one-on-one with somebody sitting there watching.
Yeah. Or the third person outside watching is like, oh, yeah, hold on. I'm trying to get my shit together. Oh, shit. I forgot what I was going to do in the match. Oh, yeah, let me get in there.
Yeah, I don't like them. I can maybe name 3 in the history that have been decent. And this ain't one of them. All right. So, for some reason, Savio Vega comes down for commentary?
Boricua?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Why? Because we needed him.
He's the king of the triple threat matches.
Yeah. We needed him there because here comes Bulldog, but wait, Sean and HBK, or not Sean and HBK, that's the same person. Trips and HBK attack Bulldog on the ramp, absolutely just pummel his knee. And you know what Savio Vega says? I'm here. I'll do the right thing. I'll replace him in the match.
There it is.
Yeah, my notes on this was my notes on this match. This match is boring, way too long. HBK helps Trips win. What did I say? I have no idea what this is. Happy Meal? I don't know. I don't know what I wrote. I don't know. I was delusional, apparently. Los Barriquas come down. Vader comes down. DX is in the ring with chairs and Heart Foundation on the ramp. Yay! What in the world did I write Happy Meal for?
Something short of a Happy Meal, perhaps?
Maybe. I don't know. HBK helps Trips win Happy Meal.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know, folks. I have no idea. This was long. It was boring. It ended with everybody just staring at each other as the show went off. I don't like it. Nope. This gets a C- for me. And thank God this show is over at this point.
Okay. So, when HBK comes out to do commentary and it's freaking better than what you're watching with the wrestling, it should tell you something. We're not supposed to know that Vince McMahon runs the company. I didn't know until after Survivor Series. Like, wait, what do you call him Mr. McMahon for? Oh, he runs the company. What the hell happened to Jack Tunney? Hey, 15-year-old me, 16-year-old me is still like, ooh, wrestling is real.
Yeah, they've made a couple the last couple of years. I don't think, unless you really were paying attention, you wouldn't have picked up on it. But Stone Cold, when he first turned heel, would make a couple things. When Pillman first got here and he was injured, but was just coming doing commentary, he would just blatantly call Vince the owner and saying, "You sign my paychecks," and Vince would get real nervous and scared away from it. Yeah. But I mean, but it's one of those things. Once you know, you know. But
yeah.
In 1996, yeah, you didn't. In 7, you didn't really know.
I didn't really know. I always thought that Vince McMahon was just a veteran commentator. He's been there for a long ass time. And then just listening to HBK tell Vince that he's the one that made him change his attitude, I'm like, wait, what? What? And Vince is all like, excuse me? What? What are you talking about? This is live TV, pal.
You said Vince is a veteran commentator. Can I go out on a limb and say you can speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Does veteran mean terrible?
Oh, wow.
Vince.
No, I mean, I bet he's been there for a long time. Just like,
Vince
been there.
Terrible commentator.
He's a terrible commentator, but he's a veteran. He's been there for a long time. To say that, like, he's not the best. Like, he's not JR. But Vince is the reason, like, we all say, "What a maneuver!" Like, oh my god, like that's the whole reason why we're all that.
I was really glad when I watched Survivor Series 1990 and it first came on and Vince was doing the voiceover and I'm like, oh God, I got to listen to Vince. And then it's like, I'm Gorilla Monsoon and Roddy Piper. I'm like, thank God I can actually listen to it because it's like watching Sunday Night Football on NBC with Chris Collinsworth.
Wow.
Mute. And I feel the same way with Vince McMahon. Mute. Oh, if I watch Sunday Night Football and Chris Collinsworth is talking, I watch the entire game on mute. I cannot stand that man. Now, here's a guy. Oh, I'd love to shove that guy up his rear. Anywho,
the match was freaking boring. Even the fans freaking chanted it. Boring. Triple H just shows it. Suck it. And like to have that and then it's still boring. HBK Shawn Michaels gets on the ring apron to check on Patriot, who's just hanging on the top rope, starts giving him a massage.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, are you okay? You're like, can I help you out? Like, come on. And I can just imagine Patriot's like, dude, really? Laughing his ass off underneath the mask. Triple H wins, kicks Savio out of the ring, rest of the Boricuas come out, Vader comes out, China comes out, Triple H, APK stay in the ring with chairs. 15-year-old me is like, oh my God, this is crazy. Oh wow. Now I'm just like, damn, that's horrible way to end Raw.
Yeah, fade to black.
Even now, just like this is so much better than what that was years ago.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, have it end with like a big just brawl, then go off.
Right? I see.
Yeah, it was a lackluster ending. Since we talked about it a little bit ago, what did Nitro have to end with?
Yeah.
I believe it was, DDP versus Luger.
Not really a fan of Luger, but I'm a fan of DDP, so I'll watch DDP do the diamond cutter on Luger.
Well,
did that happen?
No, it turned out to just be a big NWO came down. It was a big fight. It was a fight. It was a setup for Fall Brawl, but still better than what we had here. I gave it a B.
Yeah, NWO. Okay.
Yeah. And if you listen to our Nitro review, which, we already posted, I gave that show, it was a B. It was a good show. This was not. This
chaotic, man.
This averaged out for me to be a C. And this is one of those times where I don't like the way it averaged because that's not low enough. So I took another half point off and gave this show a C-. It was not good. It was there, and it was low. It was on the lower end of there. It was very borderline to being just straight bad.
Wow.
I mean, Russo bullshit on both hours. The only one good solid match, and that was Bret Hart versus Vader, which really wasn't a match. I mean, we started off with Austin in the ring giving Sergeant Chin a stunner. We started hour two with
Chin.
Yeah, we started hour two with Mexican minis and ended it with a triple threat match that was slow and boring.
Yeah.
It was badly booked. It was just bad. C-.
Pretty much, yeah. 15-year-old me would be like, Austin. The end of that just looks like, damn, this whole thing is chaotic. You get more I guess it's like the Attitude Era days. You know, obviously since we're on the Attitude Era wrestling review,
Yeah.
it's like this is the Attitude Era days where it's just like, I people are watching the other show anyway. Let's just end this like this. Nobody's gonna care. They'll care later in a few fucking months, but you know, nobody's gonna care right now. Let's just end it the way it's right now. Russo, what do you have for us? Well, bro, here's what I have. What about everybody just shows up in the ring, even though it's not a go home Raw or anything else like that? Just, you know, chaotic. That'll work. Chaos sells. No, it doesn't.
Common sense sells. Yeah, but anywho. Oh, yeah. So we'll give it both C's. And, well, I gave it C minus. What'd you say, C?
Yeah, sure.
Close, yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, it wasn't good. There's a reason they're losing in the ratings.
Just got rid of somebody from there. I don't know. Screw them out of the title.
Yeah. Fall Brawl's coming in a couple, 6 days, and it was, I don't know. You'll have to listen and see what we thought about that. I haven't reviewed it yet. I've watched it, but haven't actually done a review yet. I'll be doing that, or that'll be our next episode. It'll come out with our special guest from the Thunder Buddies podcast, who are a group of guys who watch nothing but WCW Thunder because apparently they hate joy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thunder. Wow.
Hey, you can't say anything. You made me watch 1990 Survivor Series.
Sure. Why not? You made me watch 2 hours of minis. So I think we're good.
I'm about to say I shouldn't say anything. I made you watch an extra 2 hours, hour and a half of Raw for. Yeah. Oops.
It was fun. It was worth it. I got caught up with storylines I didn't get to watch back then, but you know, not just like, oh, I'm so glad I missed this.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much going to be our show. So, Geek, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find and listen to and talk to you on social media and places.
You can find me on From Under the Apron podcast. You can find me on Twitter at apron_stories. You can find me on Instagram From Under the Apron. I have a linktree.com/From Under the Apron. You can find me all my socials there. You can listen to the podcast, whatever you prefer, Spotify, Deezer, iTunes, wherever. I just pretty much basically put them all out there. And basically, yeah.
Wherever you steal your favorite podcast. And
yes, sir.
Listen up, keep listening because I'm going to be on there.
Yeah, he will.
I will tell you how much I love the gobbledygooker.
Oh, I'm not there yet. Hold on.
Oh, well, yeah, like you didn't know that was coming. Gene Okerlund and a big giant egg. But we'll listen.
Highlight of that is still The Undertaker, though.
Well, yeah, The Undertaker's debut was pretty fun. Yeah.
Look at the size of that ham hock.
Yeah, but if you want to hear me talk about that, you're going to have to listen to From Under the Apron. Ooh. So go do that.
Definitely.
All right, Arnold, tell them where they can. Dang it, I got to do it tonight. All right.
It's a lot, Arnold.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard having a co-host for 100-some episodes. This is only like the second one where he's not been here, so it's always a little weird for me. Always. It's happened one other time. Anywho, so if you want to listen to us, of course, you can find us on all the podcast places. We are the Attitude Era Wrestling Review, which you should know that because you're listening now, and you can just find us wherever you downloaded this. So what in the hell am I doing? Social media. That's what I was going to do. So we are on Twitter and Instagram at AEWRPod, or if you're one of those people that character limit bothers you or pictures scare you, you can always email us at AEWR316@gmail.com. And while you're at it, go and leave us a review. I love reviews. They're awesome. 5 stars are great. Let's get this. It helps us get our name out there, our podcast. More downloads, more listens, more people is always awesome. Feel free if you follow us on Twitter, drop me a line. I'm the one that runs it. I'll say hi to you. We'll talk. I'll argue with you and tell you how right I am and how wrong you will be. And you'll agree with me by the end.
He's usually the guy that simps for Sable.
Oh, no. If you are following us on Twitter and Instagram, Twitter and Instagram, and have noticed that we have new profile pictures and banners and things, I would like to say a special thank you to Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast, who was on our show a couple weeks ago, who made those for us just out of the blue. And I was really happy. They were awesome. And if you want some from him, get a hold of him and he will do some for you.
I'll have to reach out to him.
Yeah, he's awesome. Go listen to his podcast about music.
I love music.
Who doesn't? All right. Well,
who doesn't? I love wrestling. Let's go.
Yep, that sounds good. We're putting together an episode of nothing but wrestling music. With him.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Be on the lookout for that. They'll probably come in sometime next year once things settle down a little bit, because I'm a mail carrier and December sucks. So, yeah. All right. Well, folks, for Arnold, who's not here tonight, and the $1 Million Geek, I am your two-time armchair book of the year, Drew, and I am on my back looking up at the lights. Count us out, geek. Count me out, geek.
Here's one for you. Uno, dos, tres.
Is that 1, 2, 3?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, peace.